What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Bingo Toys Waveman, their version of a Bumblebee movie, Shockwave. So this was sent to me by Dr. Diecast. He always sends me stuff that I'd love to take a look at, but normally wouldn't buy for my own collection, so I appreciate that. Thanks for sending it to me. And this is supposed to go along with some of the other Bumblebee movie figures we've been getting from companies like 3-0 and from Mega Tank Monocrat and others of that scale and size. So this is a pretty tall figure, but it would go well with that line. Let's take a look at this. It is painted well, kind of like those other figures. It's got washes and dry brushes. You get this kind of dirty look and then rusted look here for the legs. Lots of little details in skull: black paint, copper paint, silver paint, white paint, purple paint. Die-cast pieces here. I think you have some die-cast in the feet as well, but that's all on wash. It's got a wash over it. Some of it is a little bit sticky because of that wash, but it does look really good. Got all that detail there. Very Cybertronian-esque, similar to what we saw in the movie. White paint here. Pretty much fully painted everywhere you can see on this guy. Got some detail on the chest too with that translucent piece there. So he does come with a bunch of accessories. So first of all, what would Shockwave be without his blaster? Again, this is fully painted, sculpted. It's got some washes on it as well. And to get this in here, you're going to open up this arm, fold in the hand, make sure it's balled up into a fist, and you have the thumb kind of folded out of the way. And then close this up and get that plugged in here. So there's a little slot here that's going to fit onto this tab right here. Give that a firm push, and there you have his gun. You also get this little metal slinky, which will make his wire. It's really nice quality, nice detail. So that's going to go right here on the back. So get that plugged in. I did notice this one is a little bit misshapen here, so just be careful as you put it on, take it off. It seems to bend the slinky pretty easily, so you want to be careful with that. I go ahead and take this and then plug that onto the back right here. There's actually two spots, so in case you put it on the other arm, you can switch. But there you go. There he is with that effect. I think that's very effective. It looks really good, very high quality. You also get a matrix here. I'm not really sure why you get a matrix, but you get a matrix. It is die-cast. It's fully painted, detailed. It's got the translucent piece there. That will go in his chest if you open up the chest here. There's a little slot right there in the inside. I don't really understand why we're doing this, but it does fit in there. I believe it's held in there with a magnet, or maybe it's just pegging in, but it does stay in there if you close the chest. I'm not going to put that in there, but you can do that if you like to have a matrix in your Shockwave. So that's an option for you. And the last accessory you get is a light-up eye, so it comes separately. Get this little LED piece. It does need two batteries. These are the batteries right here, 379 or SR521SW. And you can take the head here, pull forward on this part here with the ears. And you can see there's a little translucent piece in there. You're going to take this with the green part facing forward, put that into here. It'll fit right in there nicely. So take the black parts and face those to the side, and that'll fit in there nice and neat. And then you're going to take this, and this is going to go over top of that. And there you go. And now we can turn on the light using a magnet. Now there is a nice strong magnet in here. It's actually underneath this piece right here that magnetically clips onto it. But for the sake of convenience, I'm just going to use a different magnet to turn on. See that turned on his eye, nice and bright. And to give you a better look at the light, there it is with my lights turned off. Now it is yellowish, but it's not really yellow. So some people have said they wish it was yellow. There's a tiny fix for that. So if you want a little bit more yellow, go ahead and take this front piece off again. And we can I took just a yellow sticky note and cut out a circle using a 3-hole punch. And then you can take out this center piece, put in a little yellow, or you could use construction paper or whatever and cut it to the perfect size. but now you got a little yellow eye. I just figured this, since people would ask, you know, he should be yellow. There you go. There's his yellow eye. And we can turn that off. You do get some nice articulation on this guy, so let's start off with the head. The head is on a ball joint. It goes side to side, back to there, down to there, and rotates all the way around. A little bit hindered, there are some shoulder pylons here. Speaking of the shoulder pylons, they do go back and forth, so you can move those up and down. Shoulder rotates all the way around. On this joint, there's a little teeny tab here, which is used. Actually, I don't even know if that's used, but there's a tab, and it gets in the way. So you just got to watch out for that. Don't collide with it. But it does rotate all the way around. It goes up on this shoulder on the outside and up on this shoulder on the inside. You can move this shoulder pad out of the way so you can, for poses and whatever, you can get that up another way. It's needed for transformation as well. You have a rotation at the bicep. Again, this will move out of the way. You have a double jointed elbow, here and here. So you can get the full range of motion of that. It does kind of collide with the sculpt, but it does work. You have rotation at the wrist. You have individually articulated fingers at 1, 2 pins, and then the thumb is on a ball joint and a separate pin. So you can get some poses out of these hands if you need to. They are a little spindly, but I think that fits the world of the Bumblebee movie, so that's fine. Continuing down, you get a ab crunch here, pretty crazy, and it does remind me of 3-0 because as you open it up, you get all this sculpted detail gets exposed, and that's really cool. It's not something you see often on transforming figures. That's really, really well done. I like that a lot. You also get a waist swivel, rotates around. You do have hip skirts here. I don't like the way they work, but they will move out of the way for you. You can get the leg up to there. This is on a drop-down joint, so you can swing that drop-down joint up or down. If you swing it down, you can get it higher a little bit more, but it does collide with this, so I don't know. I feel like they could have made this more effective. And I have a little piece here that's a little bit loose. I'm going to have to ask Dr. Diecast about this one, but this piece just fell off on its own. It does fit right into there, probably just because you used a little glue and stick back in there. But you do have this rotating down joint there for the leg. You have a rotation at the thigh right here. You have a double jointed knee. It's got some of that automorphing stuff we see with 3-0. Exposes some new pieces there as you bend it. Looks good. It's got a little bit of squeak in there. You have ankle tilt. I thought these might be drop downs, but they're not, but it's a double ball peg. So there's a ball peg for the inner joint, and then there's a ball peg for the foot itself. So you can get a lot of movement. It goes all the way to there, out to there, forward, backward. The actual toe can go forward and backward as well. So you get a lot of movement on those feet. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the masterpiece Shockwave. I don't have anything from Bumblebee movie here, so I figured I'll show it with Shockwave. He is a really big robot. It is masterpiece scale, but it really goes with the Bumblebee movie figures, which are very large. So it goes well with that, but obviously it's not going to fit with the MP line. All right, now let's get Shockwave transformed into his gun mode. Go ahead and come here and detach this spring from back here. And we're going to detach this from the arm. And you can just leave the spring on there. We're going to put that back on later. So set that aside. And come to the robot here, and we'll start on the top. So go ahead and take, this arm's already been stowed away, so we got to do this one the same way. So take this hand, make sure you have the thumb folded in a nice fist, and then close that up. We're going to come to the top here, and we're going to open up this chest. And we're going to take the head, and that's going to fold inwards. You're going to fold these ears down as you do it, and then this is going to go down and into the chest, just like that. You're going to close this around it. These are going to come off the back here, and we have to do a little bit of work here. So we're going to rotate the waist 180 degrees. And now we're going to take these pieces on the hip skirts, lift them up, and rotate them around. And there's a little slot and a tab right there, so get them tabbed in to there. Same on this one. this rotated around. It's a little tight space to work in there, but get it. And then make sure you tab that in. Then we're going to bring these pieces down. There's a tab right here, and there's a slot to get it in. So, same on this side. Tab that in, and that's kind of going to hold the back together. Just make sure you have all these tabs in. All right, come back to the front here, and we can take these leg pieces. And we don't want to tab these in just yet because we need these leg pieces to move. So, but that's where you're going to tab it in, is here and here are going to tab into those legs. But just leave it open for now because that'll allow you to do a little bit more work later. Come to the top, fold these down onto his back. And we'll take care of the arms. Make sure this chest is closed all the way. So you're going to rotate these arms up to the side, rotate at the upper joint, and then rotate back here. This is going to come up and in to here. And eventually it's going to tab in right here. And that's what that tab is for on the shoulder. But don't do that just yet because we need to do a little bit more work up here before we finish this up. All right, same on this side. So take this shoulder joint, rotate that up. Rotate this around so you get the black thing on the top. And this is going to sit in like this. And if you don't want to go any further than those ears are kind of in there, so make sure you meet up with those. And then just leave this on off to the side for now. We're going to end up putting the gun barrel up here. All right, now we'll work on the legs. The legs are actually probably the harder part of the entire thing. Just because they're symmetrical transformation and it's a little tricky, you got to do it in the right order. So come to the back, pull this piece off. We're going to separate the leg. You can use a spudger or something to get it apart, but it should come apart right here. Go ahead and lift this up and away, and sometimes this piece comes back down, so just make sure you have that separated. Right? Fold that up and away. Fold this up and away, and we're going to bring this down. This piece here is going to just barely nudge in right here. So make sure you get that nudge, that nub underneath here. Then this is going to fold down, and leave this piece open because we're going to end up using that a little bit later. This piece is going to come up to the top and fit right under this and just sit just like that. So that's one leg. So you can kind of see how it's going to come together. It is similar to a lot of Shockwave transformations, but open this up. We're going to do the same thing on this one, except the transformation is a little bit different. All right, there we go. And open up this leg. We're going to take this piece. This is going to fold downwards, and it's going to meet up with this piece here. This is obviously going to make the handle of the gun. So get the legs pushed all the way up and in. Make sure you have these hip skirts down and underneath so they fit. Come to the bottom here, line this up, and get this squeezed together. That'll help you orient everything. Once you have that squeezed together, make sure you have it nice and square anyway. Then you're going to take this, and this is going to close down onto these tabs and kind of hold that all together. Right, so there's your handle. And the last step is to take care of this. This one's a little bit tricky, so go ahead and make sure this is open. Fold this up, fold this down and in, and then there's a tab right here that's going to fit into the slot on the side of the foot, and it's the back slot. So make sure you line that up, get that in there. It should push in like that. Take this piece here, this is going to rotate 90 degrees and then fold down and just sit right there. Take this entire piece, this is going to lift up like this, and it has to fit underneath here, and it's going to tab in on the other side of the foot right there. So this tab's going to end up in here. So make sure you have it all the way up, fold that across. And we're going to get this tabbed into here. There we go. And give that a little squeeze. And that's the back of the gun pretty much done. Now let's work on the front. So I'm just going to put it on a little display stand here so it'll hold it for me. So next we're going to work this piece in. Now you can take this off, but you don't need to. Open up these tabs here. And you can see there's two little tabs there. They're going to go into the holes in the side of the arms. So get those lined up. Do one at a time. So do one of them. Push it all the way in. And then do the other side. Give it a little squeeze. Okay. Once you do that, you're going to take these, and there's a little tab right here that's going to fit into a slot underneath. So get that tabbed in. Nice and secure. Same on this side. And then finally, you're going to take this, and this is going to tab into the side of his shoulders on both sides. Lastly, you're going to take this, and this is going to weave in through here, through the top. And just grab that, and that's going to plug in. I believe it's right here. That might not be right, but I think that's how it goes. So there is your Cybertronian gun mode. It's fine. I mean, there's no trigger down here, so that's a little weird. Here's the back. It's kind of wide open. A lot of junk back here. You can just kind of see his legs. I mean, it does look like his legs are just squeezed together, and he's standing on one foot. It is a classic transformation for Shockwave, but I just expect a little bit more from something like this. But I do think it looks, overall, it looks pretty good. Now, it doesn't have a trigger, it doesn't have a light up feature. The head is actually hidden inside now, so it doesn't do any of that. But it does look like a Cybertronian gun, so there you go. And for a quick size comparison, since I don't really have anything that makes sense, here it is next to MP-10 Optimus Prime. It's a gigantic gun. It does fit in your hand, but it is a pretty big, even for, you know, human size type of gun. But yeah, it will fit in with your Bumblebee movie series type figures. So final thoughts on the Bingo Toys Waveman. Let's start with the positives. I think it looks really good. They did a great job with the paint and sculpt and detail. There's a lot going on with this visually. If you never transformed it, it really wouldn't matter because it just looks like the character from the Bumblebee movie, and you wouldn't even know. You don't need it to transform. But because it transforms, I do have to take a look at that too. The gun mode isn't great. I mean, it's got a lot of holes and gaps on it. You saw it. It works fine. It's just not, you know, it's not the best gun Shockwave we've gotten. So it kind of is its own enemy, right? They wanted it to transform, but yet it transforms into something that's not that great. Now, you don't really need it to because this character in the movie didn't transform. So we don't even know what his alt mode looks like. It's sort of reimagined here. But, you know, I'm sort of willing to give it a pass. But definitely the alt mode is the weak thing here. The other positives is it has some nice accessories. I like the light up feature. I like the gun. I like the little slinky piece here. The matrix is kind of dumb, but it's nice that they give it to you if you want to use it for a matrix in the world of the Bumblebee movie, so that's fine. But overall, I like it. I do recommend it if you're collecting Bumblebee movie figures, especially 3-0 or that Mega Tank Monocrat. This is going to go in perfectly, of course, with that collection. So it's kind of a must-have. You got to have Shockwave in that collection. So I do recommend it. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.